NBC Sports and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. We're in Clifton, New Jersey for final round coverage of the Cognizant Founders Cup. Just about 15 miles west of Manhattan, Upper Montclair Country Club hosting this event for the second year, Cognizant for the third year as the title sponsor, an A.W. Tillinghast design on a gorgeous Sunday, and happy Mother's Day. From Hackensack down to Hoboken and all over the metropolitan area they have come, families and some of the players with their kids. There's little Sophia, daughter of Brittany Lincecum, and Chesney Chadwell walking mom Stacy Lewis into work today. Grant Boone, Morgan Pressel, Tom Abbott on the golf course, Jim Gallagher Jr. and Angela Stanford, and Amy Rogers will have interviews for us today. We are at the sixth hole, and this is the penultimate pairing at the par 3. And it's Ashley Buhai, whom you see there tied for fourth, 3 back.
Tough hole location today. Back center of the green.
She's a winner since she last played here. She won the AIG Women's Open. To the fifth we go, and we say hi to Tom.
This is Minjee Lee in the middle of the fairway. Jim Gallagher Jr. out with the final pairing today.
Yeah, I think so. I think we need help, wouldn't we, from the other one? What's the most you could pitch the wedge, you think? I think 20 would be okay. Really shouldn't be. I do. I think if this just pitches a little further, then it's going to hit that down slope. This is good, Minjee. Ball's going plenty long.
All right, 144 is the total. It's on 20 steps. Probably got to land this. If she lands it any more than 140, it will take a pretty big hop. A little bit of a slope just short. Plays downhill a couple of yards, but really good right to left wind.
Might come back a little bit. It's just, there is a slope at the back of the green there. Minjee wondering if it's just meandering back towards the hole. Give her a flatter putt for a birdie. Let's go to the seventh and the second shot for Aditi Ashok. She's playing with Jin Young Ko today, and Angela Stanford is out there following.
Good afternoon, Tom. Didi has 158 to this whole location. Into the wind a little bit.
I think it just pitched on the downslope there. Runs through to the back. The golf course is in very, very good condition. Pretty firm. And the greens are fast. Now, Angel Yin second at the fifth.
Yeah, she had 2 clubs out. Let's hope she's chosen the right one from 96 yards.
She got that drive way down there, Jim.
Yeah, she did. She got it about 50, I'm going to say almost 50 past Minjee.
They both hit driver. That is some evidence there of how powerful Angel Yin is with her game. This is Jin Young Ko, second at 7.
Yeah, she has much less. She has 126 to the whole location. That was a 9-iron, trying to get it all the way back there.
Oh, very good. Very, very good. Watch out for Jin Young Ko today. She's on a charge so far. Birdie at 3, birdie at 4. That should be a birdie at the 7th to get her within 1. Let's go to number 6.
And this is the 22-year-old from Korea, the rookie on the LPGA Tour, Hae-dun Yu, and this is for a scrambling par. Remember, Buhai hit a beauty in there. She'll have a birdie putt.
Hayron missed the green right. This is about the best she could do from her where she was, and that's the thing about this golf course. If you hit good shots, you get rewarded, but if you miss it just a little bit, you can definitely be penalized.
Buhai hit a good one. She'll have a chance to join that group at 10 under. Jin Young Ko may be at 11 here shortly. And back to that final group at the par 4 fifth.
I think Minjee's going to be first to go.
She is, and she missed that short putt at the par 5, which she has absolutely had so much success on the par 5s, not only this week but last year when she won, which was a little surprising, but that made up for the chip shot for a par at the next hole. But missed a good opportunity at 4, but now she's got it about 20-25 feet. Ought to go to her right a little bit, but straightens out at the end. These greens are firm, and we've got pretty good wind. That's the tricky part. I think we're going to have to watch. Crosswinds are always tougher. I feel like that maybe into the wind, but downwind, you get it in the rough out. Some of these greens are so firm.
Yeah, I was out there driving around the golf course a little earlier, and then just before we went on the air, I strolled over to the 17th, Jim, and that was something I noticed. The wind was just kind of gusting more than it had been all week. You can see the trees and the bushes in the background there.
Well, that's what it's doing right now. This is the most we've had all week. It's been a beautiful week of weather, but this is the most wind.
Bobbled a few times on its way. Golf course is playing a shot harder than it has played all week. And that's with just the players who have made the cut, who are playing better so far this week. It's playing even tougher. Much tougher than it has all week.
Minjee's avoided bogey on her first 5 holes. Now Buhai for birdie at 6. Well, you don't get many better than that, do you?
Yeah, that looked like that broke a ton right after the hole.
This is 7.
Yeah, this is Aditi Ashok for birdie.
You know, Aditi's always been really good at putting. Her stats are always the top of all the putting statistics, and she's going to need good speed here. That first part of that putt is really, really quick.
Nicely done. It's a little awkward too, putting through all of those shadows, especially when they're moving, as windy as it is today.
Now Angel Yin for a birdie at 5.
Yeah, great opportunity right here. Made a nice par at the last hole. Set herself in contention in the last couple of weeks to see what she's learned from those previous weeks.
Well, the result at the Chevron Championship kind of came out of nowhere. She was not playing well and suddenly found her form. Lost in a playoff there in a major championship and has built on that, which is good to see. It would have been easy, I suppose, for her to kind of see the negative on that result, but I think she's seen the positive, the fact that she was right there to the very end and may well be there to the very end and get the win today. Who knows? Now Jin Young Ko for the short birdie at 7.
There's not much in this putt. If anything, maybe right center. It may try to move a little left. We're talking about the wind. We just got a gust here.
Yeah. He already has 1 victory this year, and she will be somebody that Minjee Lee will certainly notice on the leaderboard. And the other 4 players you can see there, Yin, Ashok, Buhai and Yu. There's only 1 LPGA Tour win between all 4 of them.
We're back at the 6th, where we just saw Ash Buhai miss her birdie putt. Hit on Yu, rolled into short one for bogey, so Yu drops back to 8. As Minjee Lee and Angel Yin try to get a proper number and judge the wind at this 6th hole. This is what Minjee did in round 2. And Morgan, it has been just a week and really 2 years, you could say, of pure ball striking here by Minjee.
Her golf swing is so solid, so repeatable. Just really one of the most efficient golf swings on tour.
This was round 3. It was not the easiest hole location to get to. Minjee, the 26-year-old from Perth. She's got Mikey Patterson, veteran caddy, on the bag for the time being. Her lead is now 1. Angel Yin has the box.
Actual distance,
and we can just see that flag fluttering, Jim.
Yeah, I think this is back into the wind. It's 164 is the cover number. I think that's the key number she's looking at. It's probably playing about almost a club longer with into the wind. So 171 is the total. She's trying to look at a number, probably that 171 number, which is about what the carry would be if it's playing that number. This hole tucked over here, Morgan, will make this shot maybe a little easier into the wind.
Yeah, it's a shallow area, though, so you really want to nail, if you're going to play at the flagstick, really need to nail down your distance control. There's only about 12 paces of green from the back edge of the bunker to the back edge of the green. Angel's aiming a little bit right.
That's where it's heading.
You can almost see in our monitor there, she's going to putt up and over a couple of knobs in this green. That's going to be a tough putt.
Keep it here for Minjee.
You know, Morgan, I was going to ask you, how often do you look at the other players, what they maybe hit, but I don't think she's going to learn much off of Angel's shot.
I think it's kind of like a putt, Jim, when you know they've hit a good putt or a good shot, or you have a feel for, maybe you've played practice rounds with them and know their typical distance, then maybe it can help you, but otherwise not always helpful.
She's chosen a 6-iron, like I said, the actual distance 71, but back into the wind, playing a little bit longer than that. He needs to get on this one.
She hasn't made any mistakes, but her lead standing on this 6T has been cut from 3 to 1. It doesn't look like she likes this one.
Oh my, that sound was odd, and the result and the visual was stunning.
Yeah, I know it was a lot. You're going to have to hit that one firm, but that ball came up 25 yards short. That wasn't even close.
Yeah, that was just a chunk. I mean, that is just shocking.
From a player who has been sublime with her ball striking, and now Jin Young Ko, you could almost say effectively, is co-leading the tournament at the 8th now.
Well, considering only about 30% of the field has hit this green in regulation on 8 today, she may actually be in a good spot there in that bunker.
Does Minjee have to re-tee from where
I believe
the ball
so.
went in?
Yeah, I don't see a drop area, so it looks like that's what they're trying to figure out. This is always, you just hit a club you had to hit firm to get there, but you didn't come close. You really didn't learn anything off this last one. Trying to find if it's crossed.
You think she tried to jump on it, Jim?
Maybe a little bit. But regardless of that, they're trying to see if it crossed up here. But if it did, you're going to have to drop it in the rough, and I don't know if that's any better.
All right, let's look and listen again to this tee shot of Minjee Lee. And so just looking at it, she could drop it, but as Jim said, there's no way that she would have caught any of the fairway cut, right?
That's about where probably right on line with where Mikey is right now, and the hole is about where it crossed. So he's looking to say, okay, if we're going to go up 40, 50 yards, what's my lie going to look like? Am I better off hitting a 6-iron back from the tee or maybe a 9-iron from the rough? It's what it looks like from here, Jim.
Yeah, as we've watched all week, anybody that's played out of the rough, the ball's not going to hold. And as you said, there's not much room up there, especially coming out of the rough, to hold this if she does drop it all the way up there. So it's a big decision right here.
Suddenly, Angel Yen's tee shot looks a lot better.
And this could be a really big number if she's not able to regroup right here.
Lauren Hirschbacher, LPGA rules official, coming in.
Next hazard, but I carried the first bit, so there's no drop zone for that, right?
No, there's no drop zone. Okay. So that way, trust. You guys are much better than others.
Well,
Yeah.
but we're just making sure that our only two options are either go again from here or anywhere between here and the flag, right?
Yes, it's a straight line from the last cushion point.
Yeah.
There's also 2 flat lines from the last cushion point. Or back to where you were.
It's just the truth.
Traffic from the Garden State Parkway is obscuring some of that conversation.
Looks like she's deciding to re-tee here.
7.
There's a moment ago, second shot for Ash Buhai. And these players likely won't know unless they look across and see Minjee with the rules official on the tee at the 7th. They're unlikely to know that things are going to change. Buhai has given herself a chance to get it to 10 under par.
All right, so now Minjee, her 3rd shot.
As you said, Morgan, you try to get out of here with no more than 5. It's just right of the hole.
That was not heavy.
So that'll be for bogey. Remember, Jin Young Ko is in the front right bunker at the 8th, and here she is. Second shot, Angela.
Yeah, I think she was confused again on the tee box. So she found herself in the greenside bunker, but it's really this bunker shot is going to hit the downslope and run to the hole.
So if she makes that and Minjee misses, it's going to be Jin Young Ko leading the Cognizant Founders Cup. Minjee trying to win her 2nd, Jin Young her 3rd. Jin Young Ko about 4.5 feet for her par at the 8th.
Again, there's not much in this putt. Maybe left to center if she wants to play any.
So she's going to be at worst tied for the lead, with Minjee Lee guaranteed to give up at least a shot at the 6th. For now, we go to 7.
Where we find Ashley Buhai for her birdie.
I'm surprised, Tom, with where this hole location is today on 7, that there haven't been more birdies. It's right in the middle of the green, kind of in the middle of a bit of a funnel.
Yeah, there's one. I agree with you. When I looked at it earlier, I thought it's, as the locations go for the week, this one would probably be the easiest. Good 3 there, and the South African is within 2 of the lead.
How quickly would Angel Yen buy a 2-putt right here, Jim?
She would pay a lot of money for that. That's about 75 feet right to left. It's not as much of a right to left as we thought when we walked up here, but it's all about the pace.
Wow, what a putt.
About it.
Golf clap for that one. That was tremendous. She doesn't need to buy a 2-putt. She's practiced her whole life for that. Well done.
And she can buy a lot if she keeps finishing up there in major championships. It's a $3 million purse this week, $450,000 to the winner. And she might be tied with Minjee Lee when they leave this 6th green. Minjee's got a putt for bogey coming up.
Minjee's a little bit left of where Angel was, but she's got an idea of the speed of it. I think that's the key. There's not as much break in this one. This is more or less just over 50 feet. This was just going to settle yourself down. Made the mistake off the tee to try to make no more than 5.
Jim, I love Minjee's demeanor. I feel like she does that very well. She stays very much in the present. But this is going to test all of her patience.
So that's going to be for double. Jin Young Ko is going to be the outright leader as she tries to win a 3rd Cognizant Founders Cup on a 3rd different golf course. Jin Young won at Wildfire in Phoenix. She won not far from here at Mountain Ridge in West Caldwell, New Jersey in 2021. Now this is our 2nd year here at Upper Montclair, where Minjee was the winner by 2 last year. Five pars and a double for Minjee Lee. It has been an adventurous start to her final round. To the 8th we go, and Ash Buhai now 1 back.
Right, come on.
This is just such a brutal par 3. 174 yards, narrow, firm green. This hole's only given up 1 birdie today. If you land it short, it's a huge upslope short of the green, which will repel balls. But if you land it on the green, it's so firm, it will take off. She missed her spot there by about 3 yards.
7.
Angel Lee is back there on the tee.
And she's got driver obviously back into the wind, hole playing 386. Really narrow fairway. And that is going left.
Yeah, left to right, isn't it?
Needs to get lucky. Okay. She doesn't look too bothered as long as it's sort of this side of the trees. Now Minjee.
Yeah,
she doesn't like
this
that
one either.
That's left. Oh, it clips the tree, I think. So Minjee's all over the place right now, which is really shocking to see. Did not expect this. She's lost the lead. Jin Young Ko is in front.
All right, from off the front of the green, Ash Buhai at the 8th.
Short-sided here. Needs to, as firm as these greens are, you can even see it. Just, we haven't had any rain this week, getting baked out by the heat yesterday and full sun today. Try and get this club just under the ball. It sounded just a fraction clanky and wasn't able to get the spin that she was looking for there.
Back to 7.
Well, this is where Minjee finished up.
162 is the actual number. It's about 145 to carry the front. So she's looking at probably trying to carry something in the low 150s. It's not a bad lie. There's a little bit on the upslope, so this could shoot up in the air back into this wind. Just depends if it comes out clean or not. Sounded clean.
Yeah, that's going to settle. Good shot. Very good. Chance to bounce right back. And we'll go ahead to the back nine. Let's go to number 10.
And 4 shots off the lead is the reigning Rookie of the Year, Atthaya Thitikul.
It's not the kind of golf course that's set up for a lot of birdies, but players right around that 7-8 number have to have looked up at that leaderboard and thought, wow, I'm right back in this thing.
20, so we want to land it quite short.
Well, here's the player at the top of the leaderboard, Jin Young Ko.
Finishing like on her ball.
Tom, she has 127 to this whole location. Really needs to carry at least 115. A little short and left of this whole location. She'd have an uphill putt.
Safe shot, middle of the green. And now Angel Yin can't see as much of the golf ball here, Jim.
Yeah, not as good a lie. 154. Came out a little bit hot.
Now it needs to sit, and it's not going to sit. It rolls away there. There's a bit of an upslope at the back of number 7.
And Ash Buhai, as you look at this leaderboard, you've got Ko, Lee, Buhai, all major champions. And this to stay at 10 under.
I'm just looking at the scoring averages. I mean, the golf course is now playing more than 2 strokes over par. And there's only 4 holes playing under par. 3 of them are par 5s. It is just a really tough day of golf, and it's going to be a test of patience. And I think that really opens up the leaderboard even more because there is such volatility out on this golf course.
Well, she survived that test of patience at Muirfield last summer. Enduring a late hiccup, made a couple of clutch putts just to get to a playoff with Minjee Chung, which she eventually won. This feels like it's anyone's event at the moment. Thitikul, who came from way off the pace to win her first event 14 months ago.
And we know that's a place she's comfortable chasing.
And she was 6 back when she won at Aviara. She was 6 back when the round began today, but that was an opportunity missed.
Yeah, if you're gonna win this tournament today, you're gonna have to make those putts when you get the opportunity for birdie within 8 feet.
Lydia Ko finishing up, still trying to get her season kick-started in terms of the LPGA. She did one on the Ladies European Tour in the Middle East earlier this year.
Well, this is where Angel Yin's ball finished at the back of 7.
Yeah, coming up on the upslope should come out pretty good.
That looked like a very nice touch from Angel Yin. Well done there. Should save her par. We'll go up a couple to the 9th, and Jin Young Ko putting for a birdie 4.
Yeah, that was uphill. She gave it a nice roll. This is her first chance to get a look at a leaderboard. I wonder if I haven't seen her turn around and really look at it quite yet.
That's there you can see in the back of your screen. Angela was talking about the big leaderboard. Caddies usually are well aware of what's going on, even if the players don't want to look. Minjee now for a birdie. Bounce back birdie. Yes. Well, that shows the mindset of Minjee. Not a good tee shot, but really nice second, and takes one of those shots back that she dropped at the 6th, now to the 9th, and Aditi.
I really thought, watching Jin Young's putt finish at the hole, I thought Aditi would really give that ball a chance to go in.
Just got a little bit too low, didn't she? Now Angel giving this the full treatment.
With Mark Brunel, the superintendent, he said the greens are about as firm as they've been all week. Of course, I'm not putting any water on them. And I think this is playing like a major championship, just with the setup, with the wind, the rough, the speed of the greens. They're fast, they're smooth. But these putts right here, these always get the players' attentions. She had a great chip shot, though, to get to here.
Yeah, you do feel like the conditions have changed today, just that little bit firmer, as Jim was saying, and the breeze adds some spice to the proceedings. That one goes in. It's in the middle at the bottom. That's all that counts. Aditi made her par. Jin Young Ko makes 5 as well, so she is tied for the lead with that Minjee birdie, and they will make their way around the side of the clubhouse to the 10th.
While they make the turn, we remind you, you can download the LPGA app for iPhone, iPad, and Android today. Go to lpga.com/apps for more information. A firm, fast golf course has become even more so, and now the challenge of the 8th as the wind whips and the green that's been so tough to hit in regulation. What's our current count here?
32%.
So less than a third of the field here of the 66 who made the cut. The 66 playing best this week. Less than a third.
And you can see the flag straight downwind. The green is not very wide, and the green, as opposed to most of the others on this golf course, actually slopes just a touch away, especially at the front. So if you do carry that false front or that front ridge that we saw repel Ashley's ball, it's just going to take off.
And Morgan, I don't think you can leave it, bounce it short, 10, 15 feet short of it and bounce it forward. It's just, you don't know what it's going to do doing that. You don't want that chip shot. This is just a tough par 3. And talking to Mike Brunel, the superintendent, he says it's one of the toughest greens to read because there's the subtle breaks. Most of the breaks you see on the greens you can read, but the number one objective here is somehow get it on the green and keep it on the green.
We just saw Ashley Buhai come up a bit short and it rolled back, and she was unable to save par. But a big bounce back from Minjee after the double bogey at 6. One of the worst shots we've ever seen her hit. Came up well short in the water at the par 3. Made double, but now back into a share of the lead.
Just a little bitty 8-iron for her. I think that's part of the problem, Morgan, trying to bounce it up because you're hitting such a lofty club. It hits right into the face of that short of the green and slows it down.
And there's a good view of that upslope, that dark grass below the flag stick on your screen.
It's trying to cut back.
And doesn't get it up that slope. She's going to have an easier pitch than Ashley just had because she doesn't have to negotiate or carry that bit of fringe and isn't as short-sided, but still, it's very tight on these aprons. Could choose to putt that if she wanted to.
Making the turn, tied for the lead, Jin Young Ko.
Yeah, you know, it's been funny watching her today. You know, I think she's not real comfortable with the wind. She's hit a few shots that, you know, her caddy Dave and they've talked about him a lot, and I think the wind is really confusing out here right now. I thought it was coming from the north today, but it hasn't come from that direction yet. So she's taking her time. She's talking through it, but I think she's just kind of confused so far today.
She's gotten lucky on a couple of tee shots here this week. What will be the difference with the second shot from the fairway versus that cut?
She won't be able to get as much spin on that, and she is a little short-sided. Poor angle to the right hole location today.
Angel Yen at 8.
Yeah, this is a 9-iron, and she's about the only one that can maybe spin it, but I don't think she can.
Wow.
So far.
9-iron.
Angel said it all.
Joining Jim on the commentary team, Angel. She's just one back. Tough golf course. Some great players tangling today in Clifton.
Yeah,
all right, Angel Yen.
Yeah.
Behind the 8th.
Grass is going right back at her, which makes this is always tough to judge whether it's going to come out. Sometimes it comes out a little bit fluffy. I have to get this maybe a little bit back in my stance, but I think this is the tricky part. It's not as slow going back up the slope that you would assume as fast as it was going back the other way, Morgan. She's going with a lot of loft.
Expect to see her carry this about halfway to the hole. Let it run the rest of the way.
Oh, yeah.
She uses that same effortless rhythm and hand motion in her chipping as she does with her full swing.
Ashbuha drove it in the bunker here. This is her third shot to the par 5 ninth.
This hole playing into the wind today, Tom, accentuates those misses off the tee. It's just such a long par 5.
Nice third shot though for Buhai, and give her a birdie try despite the drive that was just offline.
We were wondering, putt or pitch for Minjee. Looks like a lofted club.
It'll test your nerves right here.
Just so tough to get any type of spin off of those really, really tight lies. And as firm as this green is, we've seen coming in with a full swing. It's not all that much different when you're chipping.
So Minjee's got a putt for par. Jin Young Ko just a foot or so off the fairway at 10.
Yeah, she has 68 yards. Morgan, you're right. She's in that first cut. She can't spin it. I'm a little surprised she hit it this far up here because it is tucked. The whole location is tucked on the right. And she has to hit it about 60 yards if she's going on line with the flag. And if she does that, it's a downslope. So I'm a little confused as to why she didn't lay back a little more and hit maybe a full wedge and had a better angle. So we'll see what she does with this.
Looks like she's got the face pretty open to try and get it up in the air. That's pretty well done from there.
Yeah, I agree. That was impressive, and not many players can do that.
So Ko will have that for birdie. Minjee is lining up a putt for par.
Yeah, I think the problem with trying to putt that last one is the mowing patterns across, and it's a little bit grainy. So even though it's a tight, that was probably why she went with the lofted club. But she should have, if she was watching Angels, which I know she was, she has a pretty good idea. This should go a little to the right early, maybe straighten out at the end.
She's playing a ton of break here, Jim.
Just enough.
What another beautiful roll. Those putts on 7 and 8 could be really, really big. Every putt, every shot, of course, matters, but just in confidence and in the way she bounced back with that birdie on the last and then save par here. Really solid.
Yeah, they keep that stat bogey avoidance, and Minjee did it there to stay tied for the lead. Now Angel Yin for her par.
Yeah, she made a good 2-putt back at the par 3, but a really good up and down at the last one. So this will be another good save if she can make this. She's actually driven the ball really well, so she's got it in the fairway all but once, and she's given herself some chances. But just like with Minjee, this is another big putt. We always talk about that, but this is what kind of keeps that momentum going. Now you got a couple par 5s in the next 3 or 4 holes.
Yeah, this should look good to her eye, Jim. Just a little right to left.
Yeah, that's nice. Clean card, stays 1 back. At the 10th, Aditya Shook for birdie.
This ball is going to move left to right, quick in the beginning and then flattening out at the hole.
Wow.
Gosh, you just can't buy a putt today, Angela.
Back to the 9th we go.
Ashley Buhai now for the birdie. Quite a lot of break off the right side of that green, so Buhai is going to have that putt to go out in 1 under par. Projected to go to 16th in the race to the CME Globe with where she stands on the leaderboard right now. So it's been a good first quarter of the season for the South African star. We'll look all the way back to the tee at the 9th, and this is Minjee Lee.
Trying to hit just a little cut shot off this tee. Yep.
Yeah, that looked like a better golf swing right there. More balanced at the finish.
Jin Young Ko for birdie to regain the outright lead at the 10th.
She's in the same area as Aditi and has a pretty good idea of what this putt's going to do. Still moving left to right, not as much as Aditi's. Oh, just at the end, you know, it's turned, both balls turned more than expected at the end by the hole.
Jin Young's maybe, if it had a fraction more pace, could have held its line for another foot, but it's one that you can't be too aggressive with.
Now Angel Yin on the tee.
Gave that one a rip, Tom.
Yeah, and she's gonna be just short of Minjee. So Minjee caught hers, and we've always known that Minjee can move the ball out there. That's a great example, hitting it past Angel Yin as they play the 9th. Back on the 9th hole, and clean-up job here for Buhai. Whoa, that started left off the face by the looks of things. This is the tee at the 11th, and Jin Young Ko. Hit one way left yesterday here. Now that one, somebody says, is perfect.
Interesting deciding to go with less than driver. Some kind of a 3-wood or 5-wood there, but right in the center.
Ash Buhai did make a bogey putt, so it's back-to-back bogeys to finish the front 9 for her. Angel Yin just laying it up. Jim, what was the number there for Angel to get home in 2?
She had 289. Minjee's got 287. I'd like to see him, and Angel did, squeeze it up there as far as they can, because this has been such a tough green to get it close to, but the water does come into play on the right, so I think that's why we've seen them all week kind of lay back a little further back. It was a little lower flight shot.
Well, kind of matching each other shot for shot here on the 9th. Let's go ahead to the 12th.
And an eagle putt for Nasa Hataoka, and this to thrust herself into contention.
I've had 5 eagles today on this 12th hole so far. Playing pretty much as a long par 4, 4.25 scoring average.
So the day began with Minjee Lee up by 3 at 12 under par. Jin Young Ko is trying to win her 4th LPGA event when trailing by 4 going into the final round. She's bogey free today, and that's some good work. Same for Angel Yin, hasn't given up a shot. Tough day to play. 69 is the low score posted, and it's the low score on the course as well.
My last count was there are 8 people under par on the golf course, and that might be less now with Angel. Angel made par on the last hole, but I thought that might go to less if Angel did miss that putt.
This is Atthaya Thitikul. Missed a short putt for birdie at the 10th. Then bogeyed 11. Nearly gets a couple back in a hurry. That'll take her to 7 under if she makes it. Back to the 9th.
Ash Buhai may be the player you were thinking of, Morgan, because she was under par and bogeyed 9.
Do you see the circle just left down to the?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, pick the better.
You see our Golf Channel studio there, disappearing out of view with NBC Sports on the logo. They'll be wrapping up the action later today. Who knows what they'll have to talk about.
105. I like it. Yeah. Let's spin.
All right, actually already just 106. I like where both players laid it up a little closer up here, where it kind of leaves you a little bit of a shorter shot coming into this hole. Back into the wind. The question is, can you flat back here and control the spin? It's tough to see the flagstick back in the background there too. Some shadows.
Sounded like she went with the one more. Yeah, it sounded like she went with the one more club, Jim, to try and take some spin off of this one here.
This could be good.
Yeah, it's going to be below the hole. Chance for birdie. Yeah, Golf Central wrapping up the action. I mean, it'd be hard to figure out right now who's going to be the highlight of today. It may well be this player, Jin Young Ko, her 2nd at 11.
Yeah, she has 134. Again, she kind of backed off when she was going through her routine. She kind of looked over at her caddy and then kind of kept going. She needed to hit it about 120 to carry on line with it. It's just, I think it's one of those flags that you want to go at, but you just know you can't because it's downwind. It's going to hit a downslope. She played it to the proper spot of the green.
Isn't that what Minjee's been talking about all week? There's some places you just don't go out here.
Yeah, you've got to pick your spots here. She's been saying, Jim, that it's a ball striker's golf course.
Well, she hit one back around the layup, flighted the ball nicely, what those elite ball strikers do. This might be floating a little.
Just stay there. Doesn't want to come back too much. Okay, both players can leave themselves putts for birdie, but we know from watching Ashley Buhai that Minjee's putt is going to have a bit of right to left in it.
Titikun to get to 7 under.
I don't know if 7 under with the leaders still. She's going to have a really special here, back 9. Leaders haven't gotten through this 12th hole, which is playing well under par.
Second at the 11th for Aditi. Oh, she was aggressive and pitching it.
Yeah, she was trying. She was trying to go right at it, Grant.
I think she tugged that. That was a little aggressive and lucky. She's going to take it, though.
Hae-Dong Yu has not had a great start, but she's only 3 off the lead.
Left herself with a lot of club there and on the 10th hole. Laid well back. Very different from what we saw from Jin Young Ko. Just in the group ahead.
And that was more of what Angela was wondering if Jin Young might do. So Hae-Dong will have a birdie putt to get to 9 under as we take you back to the final pair.
On the par 5. And I think it's going to be Minjee first to go, Jim.
It should be, as you said. It's a tricky little read. You said right to left. It goes through the shadows, which I always thought, well, it was so tough to kind of read and trust what you're seeing. You don't see the true if you had all the lights. But I think both these players played short of this hole because long is just no chance for knocking it over the screen.
Yeah, Jim, and I think when you have the wind as well, so it's not just that they're still, but they're shadows, but they're also moving all over the place.
Correct.
Should have quite a bit of right to left break, especially at the beginning.
I like the pace she's going. She's going ahead. She's trusted. She's committing to this line, so I like this.
Whoa. That was a big misjudge of pace there. Last second thought it's uphill. I got to get it to the hole and gave it a little extra.
Jin Young Ko should be uphill the first half of this putt, Angela.
Yes, it's a little uphill to start, and then it's going to go downhill away from her. It could turn left at the end, but I'm not sure how much the downslope from the other side of the green is going to affect it. And it just kind of stayed straight there at the hole.
Good try, though. Looks like she could be going out onto centre court in that outfit. Wimbledon not too far away, is it?
Ash Buhai second. This fairway bunker's gotten a lot of work this week. She's snapping at it. Oh, she snapped too many times.
That was a wonderful shot. I believe we saw Nelly chunk it into the penalty area from the fairway bunker. It's just a really tough shot earlier this week.
To 9.
Angel Yin to tie the lead. Oh, just stayed too far left. You could see it moving gradually back to the hole. Fraction offline. Now Aditi for birdie at 11.
Yeah, she probably has one of the best looks here today. It's going to move a little right to left.
Still only one birdie on this hole all day. It's so tough to get it anywhere near that hole location. The way it's protected with the downslope over the bunker.
And Minjee with the comebacker now for par.
Ooh, this is a slick little putt coming down the slope. This is not what you want to do to yourself. You give it a decent chance, but unlike Morgan, I think you feel like it's so uphill that you have to go ahead and hit it. But these greens are so fast, even uphill.
Yeah. Well, it was an eventful front nine for Minjee Lee. We certainly didn't see what happened at 6 coming. And she chipped in to scramble a par at the 3rd hole. So the first 6 holes definitely a surprise, but the way she came back and played 7, 8 and 9 was kind of vintage Minjee. Now Angel Yin just to clean it up.
Yeah. We don't measure pace of tap-ins, but Angel, I think, might be leading the field.
Maybe that should be a suggestion for the KPMG Insights.
Yes. Instead of guessing, you'd like to be able to know for sure, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the speed, yeah. Now they're going to walk around the clubhouse. Security there keeping the fans at bay, but great atmosphere here. Really, really nice atmosphere with a mix of people in terms of ages.
Yes.
The youngsters out yesterday.
It's great.
It was brilliant. I was walking by the area where they had the lessons. It was just fantastic atmosphere. Full credit to everybody involved here for bringing out people young and old.
Lots of delicacies up there. A chance to maybe scarf down a quick snack on your way to follow this leading pair, including Jin Young Ko on the tee at the par 5 12th.
You know, I was standing on the back of 11 green, and her caddy, Dave Brooker, walked by me, and he kind of mentioned the color of the greens today. And so I think he's aware of, you know, that it's gotten more firm, and today is the most firm we've seen.
It's almost got a little bit of a brown tinge to it. And like Jim said when he spoke to the superintendent, they just haven't put any water on it, and that's what's going to happen.
I mean, we're entering a major championship season, and you've got these two who you've got to believe are going to be right there a lot this summer at the biggest events. Ash Buhai for birdie at 10. Oh, is it enough? How about that birdie from the fairway bunker?
Oh, tremendous. I didn't think that was going to break enough to get into that hole, but almost stealing one there.
Three ahead when she began this final round, tied as she makes the turn, Minjee Lee.
Yeah, just going with iron off this tee back into a little bit of right to left wind. That should be fine.
She had a lackluster front nine last year when she was leading on Sunday. Same 1 over par, but a easier golf course setup last year. This much tougher here today.
Head on you for par at the 10th. Stays 1 over for the day. Just her 6th start as a rookie. She's made the cut each time. Back on the tee, Angel Yin. Power to spare.
Oh, 2 smart plays there.
13.
Ty Titikin second. It's going to leave her a putt across the green there, and that flag is just whipping. Wind right to left at 13.
Cheyenne Knight tied for 10th at the moment. This for birdie. It's been a good season for Cheyenne, a winner back in 2019 on the LPGA Tour in her adopted hometown of Dallas-Fort Worth. That area is where she calls home. 13.
Chicken with Se Young Kim. Se Young has kind of lost her way with the game lately, and that one needs to just settle. She's had a strange day today. She's 4 over par, included a 7 at the 9th.
So you see the hearts on the back of Jin Young Ko there. One for each of her victories on the LPGA Tour and KLPGA, where she began her professional career. And you see the ones that are blue there? It's for the major championships.
She might need a bigger bag by the end of her career.
14 wins on the LPGA Tour. 2 of the majors. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, the top is, like I said, it's 33. I like it, so I'm trying to land at 25, 26. Yeah, just like normal.
All right, so she has 151 to the hole location, 127 to the front. This is a 9-iron. I think she's getting comfortable out here with the wind direction now. She absolutely striped this driver.
And that for eagle. Minjee Lee is a couple of holes behind at the 10th, and here's Minjee's approach.
Yeah, 127th. This should be a pitching wedge. It's over on the right side. Might need a decent kick here, a little bounce.
Like that.
Yeah, that'll leave a quick putt down the hill, but really got a fortunate bounce. I think she'll be pleased with that result.
Angel wasting no time.
No, she's not. That from 110 yards.
Looks like she likes it. Oh, maybe a little adrenaline there, Jim.
Yeah, it did. It just, I think off the tee they felt a little hurt, but it's not hurting at all.
Yeah, that carried almost 10 paces more than what she was looking for.
Up 1 to 11.
And Ashby has driven it down the right in the fairway bunker.
It's actually a bit of a better angle from over here, Tom. I'm not sure you want to be in the fairway bunker, but you don't have as much of the downslope to worry about in line with the flag. I would still expect this to be 10, 15 feet right of this hole location. Heavy.
Yeah, and that's going to leave her a tricky one now. Had 73 birdies on the back 9 today. 38 of them have come on one hole. 35 on the other 8. So the
12th hole.
On the 12th, yeah.
Right, yeah.
There aren't that many birdies being made on the back 9 on holes that aren't 12. It's a par for Tinnikun. Now you at the 11th. Let's see how aggressive she is. Yeah, we're able to get the ball to stop there, coming in with the high ball flight. She's certainly impressed a lot of people in the early stages of her LPGA career, as Grant mentioned. Played a handful of events so far. Back over to the final pairing.
Angel Yin going to go first here.
She's got about 30, just over 30 feet. She had Minjee move her mark at least 2 putter heads to her right. I think the lie was right where Minjee's coin was, so pretty good breaker from left to right. Kind of go back up at the slope early, but it is downhill. Just a matter of how hard in matching up the pace and the break, because there's a pretty good amount of break. If it's going soft, obviously it breaks more. It's a pretty solid morning with her speed.
Yeah, she needs to dial this one in here. It's definitely not one that you can be too aggressive with.
You can be sure that Minjee. Sorry, Marty. You can be sure that Minjee should be watching what this putt does, because the last Minjee's at about 9 feet, like I said, on the exact line.
To tie the lead, although Ko has an eagle putt coming up at 12.
Wow, I didn't think it was possible to even leave that putt that far short.
That's going to have some movement, won't it, a little bit?
That'll be a tricky one.
Aditi Ashok for birdie at 12.
Yeah, there's this mound that's kind of right in the middle of the green. She had to kind of putt up and down it. Jin Young's putt is going to be affected by it just a little bit more left to right.
There's the coin of Jin Young. She'll have an eagle putt.
Aditi's just hanging right in there, but she needs some of these putts to drop. She's close, very close.
She kept saying she was surprised that she was so close, struggling a bit yesterday.
Ashbuhai just trying to cut the legs up there. Just so hard to get that ball to stop by the hole. Good shot, though.
That was really impressive off that tight lie, Tom.
All right, before Jin Young Ko putts for eagle, this is Minjee Lee for birdie at 10.
Yeah, she has a pretty good idea of the speed and the break. I always try to pick a spot out there, try to make this as straight a putt as I can, and then it gets right to that spot, then it takes its break.
It just looked like it took a dead right turn. It was trying to exit the parkway.
A little farther up the parkway at the 12th. We'll find Jin Young Ko. Began the day 4 back, and this putt for a 2-shot lead.
Yeah, she called her caddy in just to maybe get some reassurance. I think the first part of this putt is going to move a little left to right, but then should straighten out. Speed, really, it plays pretty flat here.
Thought that might go left at the very end and just hung out to the right. It was a good roll.
Tom said she looks like she might be headed to center court at Wimbledon. A birdie at 12 is like holding serve, right? You got to make birdie at the 12th. It's effectively a long par 4. So here's Angel Yin for par at 10.
Aiming this outside the hole. Just a ticklish one.
Oh, yeah.
No more lying.
With a bit of pace.
Speed. More lying, more speed.
11.
And she watched Haydon Yu putt on a similar line and just missed on the right. So Ashbuhai knows. Yeah, she read that very well. That was a lovely stroke.
She had the fist pump out before it even got to the hole.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think she knew that was a momentum putt now going into the par 5. And if she can make an eagle there, then she's right in the hunt. Looking through the trees back at the 13th tee. This is a little gentle dogleg from right to left. And an avenue of trees that the players have to negotiate. There's a hedge that runs around the tee box, a very unique feature.
Tom, I agree. I think this is a beautiful hole. And, you know, I know we've talked about a lot of these holes being straight, but then you have a couple of these just have a slight bend to them. And it catches your attention just enough where you can't just hit it straight. You're going to have to play some sort of a shot or change your target off the tee. I think that's another reason that this course is just great.
Well, there are a lot of youngsters out watching the golf. It seems like there's a real a very young one there by the tee at 13.
It's Mother's Day.
Yeah, you could hear that. The caddies were looking across. It might be outside the boundary of the course.
Mom may have taken the day off. That could be Dad struggling to keep the youngsters quiet.
That one down the left. It's trying to hop back to the shorter grass, but didn't make it. It's going to cause her to think about that second shot. At the 11th, Minjee Lee.
Yeah, coming downwind. Kind of hard to see the fairway with the shadows.
It's not a very wide fairway, Jim.
No, about 26 yards wide. It's very narrow, like most of them.
That's in good shape, though. Aditi Ashok's tee shot away at the 13th. It's okay. Now back to Angel Yin, who's not going to go with the driver here.
No, she's driven it well all day. All she needs is 3-wood with the kind of helping right to left wind. She doesn't need any more than this. If she gets up that left side, she can get it going down grain and get some more extra distance.
I'm worried about the bunker, and no, it's not short, Angel. It's in the bunker. Might be a few players to say that. Well, Manhattan's just 12 miles away, and you can get some beautiful views of the city skyline. I think it's one of the great city skylines of the world, maybe the best. When you look from this side across the Hudson from New Jersey, and I can't wait to see some of the views that we'll have at Liberty National in a few weeks' time. We've had a chance to head into the city a few times this week. It's a great place. It really is. So many fascinations. Looking down at the 13th green. It's Grace Kim. This for par. Just slipping on the right side. The weather's been very nice this week, and it's been great to see so many people out during the week enjoying the golf and the weather, and the same in Manhattan when the summer starts to beckon and folks are out in the streets having dinner and drinks. It was just beautiful the other evening. That's the ball of Angel Yin in the bunker.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's 158 yards, probably trying to carry it about 145 will help in wind. It's down there in the flats, so this bunker's not as bad as that bunker. It's about 40 yards forward. It's a little deeper lip, but this isn't too difficult a shot.
Angel seems very animated today, Jim.
Yeah, I love that about her. I'm telling you, if she can win soon, she can be a superstar out here with that personality.
Did she try to move that right to left out of the bunker?
She sure did.
It's like she was set up.
That's not an easy shot to do.
Good ways to the right, sure. Trying to use the contour of the green to get it close. Well done. And here, let's take a look. You can see just how far right she's aiming, especially with her feet. With the ball a little bit below her feet, the tendency would be for this to come out a little bit to the right. But she catches it clean. Tries to draw the ball off that lie, lands it right on the fringe there, gets a nice bounce.
Now Minjee Lee.
Just 118 left. Bringing it in from right to left.
Yeah, sensible play there. Talked about it a few times today, how it's tough to get close to that flag. Minjee with a good shot. Let's go to the 12th.
And a chance for Ash Buhai. Second of the par 5.
She's set up here to hit a little bit of a fade. It's her predominant shot to try and get it to land softly on these greens. That one got a little bit unlucky, landing on the downslope of the knob right. That protects the front left of this green. But she'll still have a putt for eagle.
DT second at the 13th.
It looks like she's going back to clean the club, I believe.
Yeah, dad on the bag. Ashok Limini.
She has 173 the whole location. I think this is a tough shot today because you have to carry it at least 10 on into the wind to kind of get it up over the front of the green. But the greens are firm now, firmer than they have been. So do you play for a bounce or do you try to carry it all the way?
Will the being in the first cut help her here, Angela?
I think so, and I think Jin Young Ko is going to have to think about that too. She's over in the rough.
Oh, she landed just in the fringe. If she had landed another pace onto the green, I think that might have bounced forward and up towards the hole.
And what does Jin Young Ko face?
She has 155 to the hole, 136 to the front. So about 10 paces on is the top of that upslope. And again, it's into the wind. She's hitting an 8-iron here, which tells me she is going to land it into that upslope and let it bounce up.
A little club twirl. Does she like it?
A lot of release there.
Okay.
Thirteen's one of those holes where you say I'll take a par and move on today, right?
Yeah, there's a few holes like that out there today. This is Angel Yin. Going to roll this in for birdie. Doesn't quite have enough pace, so it's going to be a 4. And let's go to the 18th.
And a past champion of this event, Anna Nordquist, back when it was played in Phoenix. Wasn't a lot of grinding for pars at Wildfire for that stretch of years. Say Young Kim won at 27 under 1 year.
Yeah, it's a very different golf course there. And in fact, the golf course there at Wildfire was different between the nines. There was an Arnold Palmer 9 and a Sir Nick Faldo 9, and they were very different themselves. Now Minjee Lee, she's got it. So Minjee Lee back into a tie for the lead with Jin Young Ko. Two of the greats of the modern era tied for the lead. We're back at the 13th hole, and Jin Young Ko putting for birdie. What happened to Aditi Ashok here?
She hit her third shot from just short of the green, hit a beautiful bump and run up the slope. Should be a kick in for par. Jin Young, this putt's going to go uphill, a little right to left, and then down.
Okay. And we'll go back one to the 12th.
And an eagle attempt for Ashley Buhai.
Just quick putt down the hill. Just all about dialing in the speed here.
So you have a tie at the top, but Minjee Lee with the birdie at the difficult 11th now gets the easiest hole on the course, one of the easiest of the year, this par 5 12th. Has she just made it harder?
The key to making this hole gettable is to drive it in the fairway. She may be forced to lay up from there. The lie looks all right, so we'll see.
Yeah, this was the short one that Angela was talking about for Aditi, so she makes the par for a very nice little bump and run from short of the green. And back to 12.
And a big tee shot here for Angel Yin. Find the fairway and you have a chance to make a 3.
Yeah, she's got it lined up the right side, trying to hit a draw.
Both have missed the fairway.
We'll have to watch her alignment coming down the stretch and see if she still continues to aim a little bit too far right.
Up on the green, view high for birdie. She gets to within 2. 13 now.
Yeah, so this one ran by to this point for Ko, this for par.
Yeah, that birdie putt went past the hole a lot more than I thought it would. Just right back in for par.
Okay. Solid day, isn't it? 4 under par, one of the best rounds of the day going. Maybe a chance to post the low round of the day.
So this is what Angel Yin has in front of her at the 12th.
I'm assuming she's laying this up because there's really no need to try to go for it, especially with the hole where it's cut there. Very accessible just with a wedge. I know an aggressive player like her wants to go, but there's just really no benefit in trying to do that, especially with the penalty area short. So it looks like she's just going to lay it up.
That's just got to drive her crazy, doesn't it?
For somebody of her length and power who can take such advantage of the par 5s, no question, but she had a poor drive. Now just has to play for how am I going to have the best chance to make birdie.
All right, and this is what Minjee Lee sees. We saw Lexi Thompson over here earlier in the week, and she tried to go for the green and found the penalty area. Our insights by KPMG, how she's done on the par 5s this week. So you consider she's 12 under for the week. She's 11 under on the par 5s alone.
I think coming into today, her scoring average on the par 5s, 4.08.
But trouble off the tee.
I think she's going to try to knock this on the green. I really do. It's 162 yards total. At least up by the club she pulled out.
You like the play?
It's all dependent on the lie, which looked like it was sitting okay, Jim.
Yeah, the lie is good. It's 138 to cover, but it comes out so hot over this green's no good with this location. But I mean, this is could determine a winner right here. I don't mind it. She's not going to. The trees aren't as in a way as like it was for Angel. She can get it out there to the right. There is a little bit of a slope there, so pretty aggressive play. We'll see if she pulls it off.
Tough thing mentally to do to lay up from 162 yards. Gotta keep it down just a little bit. I don't know that over the green is all the end of the world. She's definitely better long than short.
Yeah.
It's into the heavy stuff, but
I mean,
to your point,
off and up slope. We just saw Ashley putt. It's quick, but it's not.
It's doable.
Unbearable.
Right to the par 5 14th, where co-leader Jin Young Ko is getting ready to let it rip. Made bogey here yesterday.
Yeah, another visually intimidating tee shot. Got to kind of keep it up the left side of the fairway.
Go left.
And
That far left.
Can't quite tell if that clipped someone.
I have never in my career of commentating ever heard her shout for her own shot.
Me either.
That is an unusual play there from Jin Young Ko. Now view high off the tee at 13. And down the right, we've seen quite a lot of action down the right. That one's outside of the gallery rope line, so she'll have to hope it's been trodden down a bit. Let's go back to 12.
And after the punch out, Angel Yin third, the par 5 12th.
Yeah, got this a little further down than I'd expected, but it's got on that down grain. Just a little short 40-yard shot here. A little bit on the downhill lie, so first kick should kick, and maybe it'll spin, but she should be able to get this within 10 or 12 feet.
Oh, I was waiting for that really quick late grab, and it just didn't happen.
But Minjee Lee is over the par 5 12th in 2, and she'll be pitching her third in a moment. Par 5 12th, third shot for the co-leader Minjee Lee.
Yeah, really good lie, just trying to land it on the green about 10 feet.
Well, we talk about the Aon Risk Reward Challenge hole this 12th. She risked going for the green, and looks like she's going to be rewarded.
And guess what? She won that last year.
She won the $1 million. She did.
Here's Ashley Buhai second from the thick rough. Yeah, that was obviously not lying well. Just trying to trundle something up there, but if that just climbs up the slope, top of the slope right there, I think that's a pretty good result.
Well, not far away from here at Upper Montclair Country Club is Baltusrol, the site of the second women's major championship of the season. Stars are aligning. KPMG Women's PGA Championship, June 22nd to the 25th on NBC Golf and Peacock. What a beauty this A.W. Tillinghast design, like Upper Montclair. And a proper test of golf. Beautiful look at the 12th as the third river runs alongside. And Minjee Lee and Angel Yin, the final pair. Angel first for birdie, and Minjee only about 5 or 6 feet away.
Yeah, she's got a pretty good idea what this is. If she watched Minjee's chip shot coming down the slope, you know, with the length that she's able to hit it, you've got to make birdie here. You're giving up at least a shot to the field, especially this late in the game.
A player of her prodigious length took herself out of a chance to go for the green in 2, which everyone can reach.
Feels like a bogey.
Got to, doesn't it? All right, here's Jin Young. Going to get it back in play.
Yeah, you know, Grant, I always say if I'm going to make a bad swing, I'd like to make a bad swing on a par 5 that I have to lay it up.
And back at the 12th, Minjee Lee, who began the day at 12 under, up by 3. She fell behind with a double bogey at 6, and now to take the lead outright again.
Just really, really solid. Similar to what we saw here last year. She struggled on the front 9 in the final round in the lead and really played very solid golf. Said that she was so calm out on the golf course last year. I think we're seeing more of the same out here today.
So bogey free for Angel. That's the good news. The bad news is she just parred the easiest hole on the course. And she is, as she began the day, 3 off the lead. 13.
See who's next to go. I think it's Heiran Yu, who's still got a chance here. She's 4 back. But we know that there's danger lurking out there on the home stretch here. You've got the hardest hole of the golf course at 16, the third hardest at 17, and 18 has called players out as well. So you will need to make a few birdies, but not out of the running. Keeps knocking on the door. Has had some good finishes in the early part of her rookie season on the LPGA Tour, and wouldn't surprise anyone if she were to go on and win maybe multiple times by the end of the season. That's looking back towards the tee at the 13th and the final pairing there. Minjee on the tee.
Yeah, I look for her to try to take it up this left side, maybe get a little bit down that speed slide, but kind of back into the wind a little bit.
Jim, with the adversity that she's been through today, how has she looked to you?
She hasn't changed emotions. Now, this is kind of going up that left side. This might change it a little bit if it doesn't get a good kick. But she's been really steady. I mean, she hasn't panicked. I think by, now in her career with winning, she's just really improved in that category.
Yeah, it's so important. Don't panic.
As she high for a birdie at 13. See if she can roll one in from longer range. She said yesterday, if you try and chase it today, try and force it, you're going to make mistakes. Just let it happen out there. Angel Yin now back on the tee at 13.
A low little draw going up that speed slot.
Yeah, sling one round the corner. And that's going to keep trundling along.
Into the wind. That was a great shot there. Keep it low.
Aditi Ashok at 14, third shot.
It is. She has a 127, and that ball was sitting down pretty good in the rough.
Oh, got a fortunate kick. That was a fraction from being in that bunker.
How about the whole location at 14 today?
Yeah, it's a back right in a flattish area, but there's a downslope just over that bunker. Players have to pay attention to.
Yeah,
just
Morgan,
in the fairway.
I have Jin Young. She's at 121. She needs to carry it at least 110 to take care of that downslope you're talking about, Morgan. This is a 9-iron. One's kind of interface a little off the left.
Oh.
Same situation that we just saw from Aditi, just barely covering that bunker. But no harm, no foul there.
Now we got to visit with Gaurav Chand, who is the Chief Marketing Officer and the Executive VP of Cognizant. He's visiting with the Thompsons, Lexi and her older brother Nick, who caddied for this week. And Leo's there, I believe, isn't he?
Yeah, Leo's in his little bag.
All right. Minjee doesn't quite have it in the bag. Up by 1. Led by 3 when the round began. Fell behind. Now back on top. Jin Young Ko with the birdie putt coming up at the 14th to regain a share of the lead on this exciting Sunday in Clifton, New Jersey. And we take you out to the play at the 13th and say hi to Tom.
Minjee Lee, Jim Gallagher Jr. watching. Oh, doesn't
That was from 140 yards. Needs to get up.
And it's not. It's going to feed back towards the front of the green. It's been a mixed day for Minjee. She hit it in the water at the 6th, the par 3, made a double bogey there. Has had 3 birdies since, but it hasn't always been plain sailing. Let's go to 14.
And Jin Young Ko for birdie to tie the lead. Angela Stanford's there.
Yeah, this is an uphill putt. She's got to give it a little pace. Oh.
Morgan, how about these conditions today?
They're tough. The golf course is playing the hardest it's played all week, and the scoring average keeps going up. Right now, it is 2.5 shots over par.
And 2.5 shots over what it played yesterday, which was right at par. Really tough as we go back to 13.
Yeah, Minjee just off the front of the green. I mean, you've only had 1 round in the 60s so far today. It was Madeline Sagstrom who birdied the last. She shoots 69 now. Minjee's third.
Yeah, this is a really tight lie. I like to play here. Coming in low, should release up over the slope.
Yeah, steady, steady, steady. Okay. Well, she's got a bit of work there for the par, and that's the reaction, seeing the length of putt that she has to come. This is Angel Yin playing alongside Minjee Lee in the final pairing. Angel trying to win for the first time. Remember, she lost in a playoff in the Chevron Championship last month. This is her third.
Yeah, these lies are a lot tighter than fairway cuts, so it's really touched your nerves.
They seem to make pretty good contact there. They roll those fringe and apron areas of the greens.
Oh, I saw Angel make some beautiful up and downs around Chevron and some tight Bermuda lies in the final round. She actually got a chipping lesson from Stacy Lewis in the practice round. And
that week,
yeah. Stacy said, I was very impressed. Angel seemed very confused on Tuesday and then was chipping everything to perfection come Sunday afternoon.
Minjee Lee, 26 years of age, 8 LPGA Tour victories, a couple of majors in there. Took her a little while to win that first major, but she broke through at the Monday Evian Championship, and then of course won the US Women's Open last year at Pine Needles, which was close to flawless performance from Minjee on a golf course that can certainly catch you out.
Tommy, remember back at the eighth hole, she had to make a similar length putt to save par to kind of keep that momentum going. This is one of those exactly.
It's been one of those days, Jim, that if she can hang on and win today, she'll think, well, I can do it when I'm not playing my best golf. And she does save par.
And that really is the difference maker for Minjee. She's such a wonderful ball striker, but when that putter gets going, that's when she finds herself winning tournaments. And think about the clutch putts she's made since the adversity at the 6th hole.
3 straight 1 putts for Minjee. Couple for birdie and that one for par. Now the 3rd shot for Ashley Buhai. Like Minjee, a major champion last year. Hers was at the AIG Women's Open.
And Ash is no stranger to playing golf in wind, having played so well there at Muirfield. And I think it's because of her smooth tempo. She doesn't put so much spin on the ball, either downwind or into the wind, where she's able to control the golf ball. When it's breezy, swing easy, right?
That's what they say.
Angel to stay 3 behind. She has just wrapped a lot of short putts in recently. A lot of confidence.
Not a lot of clean cards on this tough day. Head on you is the 22-year-old rookie from Korea. 3rd shot at 14. And Morgan, this is just her 6th event as an LPGA member. 3 times she's been 2nd going into the final round.
She's got all the game in the world, and the more she's in this position, the more she feels confident and comfortable being uncomfortable trying to win out here on the LPGA Tour. I think it's going to happen a lot.
We mentioned clean cards. There's only a couple of players out there with no bogeys today. This is one of them. We mentioned Angel Yin. Jin Young Ko has had 4 birdies, no drop shots, and we've got our top tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance on the tee at the 15th, where the tee has been moved forward and the flag is right on the front.
You're correct, Tom. It is playing 123 and the front is 113. They did move it up 1 tee box. The hard part is, even though you're hitting a wedge, it's still downwind, and you got to figure out if you want to try to land it into that upslope. If you land it hole high, it's going to release and get into the middle of the green. This is a wedge for Jin Young Ko.
Trying to get some action on the ball, and that's Been a spot we've seen a lot of players today. They don't want to mess around with the false front. So Jin Young will have a putt for a birdie when we come back. She's one behind here. It's the final round of the Cognizant Founders Cup.
Ashley Buhai after a brilliant third to get within two of the lead, rather. That was just a moment ago, and Ashley Buhai to 11 under.
She talked about the importance of staying patient today. Boy, has she ever done that on this golf course.
And now our leader, Minjee Lee.
Yeah, 277 total. This is just a layup, trying to keep it. I'm going to try to probably hit a 200-yard shot or less. At the right side, trying to draw it, should be fine.
Jin Young Ko unable to birdie this 14th. But Jin Young is up at 15 now.
And she does have a birdie putt here.
Yeah, there's a lot of left to right break. It's going to go uphill at the end, still left to right at the hole.
Yeah, just a little shy. So Jin Young Ko looking for her second victory of 2023 and her 15th win overall on the LPGA Tour. She's one behind. Minjee Lee has the lead.
Today's coverage is brought to you by Cognizant, helping businesses anticipate and act as if on intuition. By Skechers Go Golf, comfort-driven styles worn by Brooke Henderson. And by CME Group, where risk meets opportunity. Third shot for our leader, Minjee Lee, at the par 5, 14th.
Yeah, laid it up to about 94 yards, a little left to right, maybe help or hurting wind, excuse me. Pin's probably 20 feet left of where it was yesterday. It's up on a little bit of a plateau, so I'll look for this to hit 10, 12 feet short, take one bounce, and hopefully spin. If it gets going right, it can fall off that plateau. That's got to get up.
Oh, just barely. It kind of looked like she swiped at that just a touch, Jim.
Did a couple of those today.
Jin Young Ko did make her par at the 15th, and that's where we're headed now.
Ashley Buhai on the tee. Talked about how difficult it is to get this ball close. That is a straight ball flight and straight on line from Ashley Buhai. Asking for it to sit down. It's very good. Only had 5 birdies here all day. And a chance for Ash to make one at a vital time. Let's get back to 14.
Bogey free today, but she needs some birdies. Angel Yin.
She got a little steep with that one. Win a golf tournament.
Trying to win it for the 2nd straight year. That's our Volunteers of America tournament summary. 26-year-old from Western Australia has a birdie putt. But first, we take you over to the 15th.
And here on you. It looks like a pretty good line as well. Oh yeah, 2 very good tee shots there, and they're going to roll out to about the same spot. So actually, Buhai is going to give you a good line. We'll go to the tee at the 16th.
Maybe just a touch left.
And Jun Young Ko.
Right, the bunker on 18. Right edge of the bunker on 18.
I tell you what, I've been here all week and I still don't know how to play this golf hole. It's played
You're not
the
alone.
second hardest all week. Jim and I were talking about it. Like, I thought maybe you had to hit a draw and kind of go over this right bunker, but I think Jim's right. You have to kind of hit a cut. You have to play it up the left side and kind of cut it if you want the best shot into the screen. It's just really hard.
Being so much into the wind, Angela, it's only going to magnify any side spin you have on the ball. 31% of the field hitting this fairway in regulation, and 32% hitting the green.
Is that into the heavy cut? Not sure.
She'll have an awkward stance as well. Ball well above her feet.
All right, back at the 14th. This for a 2-shot lead for Minjee Lee. Okay. Rolls out just a bit. She'll have that to stay in front as we go to 15.
Big putt here for Buhai. You've got to think she needs to make it. Oh, it needs more pace than that. And Buhai leaving it short at just the wrong time. Let's go to the 14th.
Jim, a great atmosphere out there. They've come from all over the metropolitan area, and this is a Southern California girl trying to win near the Big Apple. Angel Yin.
Yeah, it's been a fun Sunday. Good crowd today. This goes a little left to right. Has to be paid. Watch the speed here.
I did just about everything but go in. What a good roll.
Representing Hacienda Golf Club in Southern California.
And you, another must make here for her. She's 4 back. And that one, just enough pace. Still a chance.
LPGA USGA Girls Golf is on a mission to change the face of the game. They're celebrating reaching nearly 1 million girls over the last 35 years. You can help them continue to inspire the next generation of players. Go to girlsgolf.org and donate today. They are front and center this week as we celebrate the founders like Babe Zaharias, whose picture you saw there, the youngsters out here on this Mother's Day over at the Girls Golf Clinic. It's a great program. Morgan is an alumnus of it. And Minjee Lee was escorted up the 18th last year. Called it one of really the indelible memory from her victory here last year. This for par. Well, she hasn't been flawless, but she has been tough, and she leads by 1. Today's coverage is brought to you by Cognizant, helping businesses anticipate and act as if on intuition. And by Win Grips, the best grips in golf.
Final round of the Cognizant Founders Cup from Upper Montclair Country Club, just about 12 miles from Manhattan. And this event, which has seen major champions victorious in every single playing, including Minjee Lee, who was the winner last year, trying to go back-to-back with a 1-shot lead on the tee at the 15th. Not easy to get it close, though, here, Jim Gallagher Jr.
I was just about to ask you if you've seen any close one. This 123.
So we need about 8 of help. So the rate of help. How do you feel? What are you feeling?
I just feel like this is like, I need to really crush it to get there.
Fine. Feels the other one.
It doesn't feel like there's enough weight.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. That's it now. That breeze that we were talking about. It was there when we first were talking about it. After the lead.
And just as she gets over it, the wind picked up the most it's picked up all day here. So, as you said, it's about 110 to carry, 113, excuse me, to carry that front.
Yeah, about 10 feet is the best we've seen, Jim. I mean, may have been players earlier in the day that got it closer, but maybe tougher as the day goes on. Oh, and this one is really good.
It's this any good.
The best you've seen.
You couldn't drop it out of your pocket.
Right
You get any closer.
Right on cue.
That was just spectacular, Tom. I mean, to land it in that spot, I don't think that was where she was looking, but sometimes it takes a touch of luck as well to win.
It's unusual to see a player snap a tee there to get the shortened wooden tee. Usually there are a bunch just lying around at the front of the tee box. And
that's because you can't snap one. That's why it shocks you.
That was brilliant.
You'd have to smash it with your iron.
This should be a good line too. Oh, it needed the hop to the left. Yeah, see, that's not too bad. Minjee's shot was just so good. Yeah, that's bounce forward. Minjee's bounce left. Oh, we've got Crane up there behind the 15th, so we can see from high above. Watch Minjee's tee shot. Yeah, it just kicks left on that. Yeah, there it is. Just pitched in the perfect spot.
I think just landing in that first putt took all the heat off of the shot.
All right, Angela, we wondered about Jin Young Ko. The ball is in that first cut, but what about the stance here?
Well, yeah, the ball's in the first cut. Her feet are well below the ball. She has a 5-iron, and she spent plenty of time looking at this and trying to figure out what she's going to do with it. I think she just has to be careful that the heel of the club doesn't catch first. That's what can happen here when your feet are so far below the ball. But it's not necessarily a slope. She's gripped down on a 5-iron to see if she can run something up there.
Toughest hole on the course.
Yeah, that was just a product of a bad stance, bad luck.
Well, Jin Young Ko is trying to win this event for the third time on a third different course. You go back to 2019 at Wildfire in Phoenix. This was a scrum at the top of the leaderboard. You had the Corda sisters there. Carlota Zaganda was in contention. Jin Young got it done. Then she would go on to win the Chevron Championship a couple of weeks later, the first of her 2 majors that year. There was no Cognizant Founders Cup because of COVID in 2020. They moved here to New Jersey. Cognizant took over as title sponsor, and that par putt at 18 wrapped up a 4-shot victory in the October chill. And that was part of an amazing 2021 in which she won 5 times, won Player of the Year for the second time. Battled through an injury-riddled second half of 2022, but she's back. She's won already this year, and now looking for a 15th career LPGA title. And Morgan, as we look at Ash Buhai on the tee at 16, these last 3 holes, with 58 players having gone through, have yielded a total of 12 birdies.
It's just a tough finish here, and Ash said it best after yesterday's round. Said you just can't chase. You got to take what this golf course gives you, and you have to be patient.
Looked like a bat drop, bat flip.
But that is a third of the field, less than a third of the field hitting that fairway in regulation. She finds the dead center.
Final pair at 15.
Angel Yin for birdie. Yeah, just that last half of the putt, slightly uphill. And we've seen players fooled with the speed today. It's going to be a 3 for Angel. Well, as she knows, time's running out here. Got to hand it to her for the way that she's played consistently today on a tough day, not dropping a shot. But she's had a front row seat to watch Minjee Lee put together a really good scoring day. Not necessarily her best stuff in terms of the way she's played, but the putter's worked well, Jim, and now she's got a chance to take a 2-shot lead. This will be a big moment here to have a little cushion going into 16.
Yeah, you learn a lot about yourself. You win a lot of different ways, and some days you just have to grind it out, and this is one of those days she's done that. I look at the birdie she made at 12, the great save at 13. She made a good putt the last hole. Maybe a little fortunate on the shot to get to here, but this is, you know, just been a day of just being patient and not getting ahead of herself, even after number 6.
Yeah, great 2 at 17. That's 15, I should say. 17 also a par 3. And she's starting to put together what could be a winning final day now.
And this feels like a must up and down for Jin Young now.
Yeah, she had about 30 yards there to get it all the way back. Just a beautiful shot.
All right, so par putt coming up for Jin Young Ko on this Mother's Day. Shout out to the moms on our crew, Amy Rogers and her Jack there, Jody Warner, part of our video control team here on the ground. Gay Mason, one of our tape operators, and our graphics coordinator, Maria St. Ange with Little Lily. Happy Mother's Day to all. An enormous par putt for Jin Young Ko at 16.
Maybe right center.
Oh, wow. All right, on this Mother's Day, a hug from little Chesney. Her mom, Stacy Lewis, whose own mom, Carol, is out watching today. Pia Nielsen, one of the pioneers honored this year, along with Betsy King. Solheim Cup captain. To the 16th, and hate on you.
Anything in the middle, anything on the 16th green is a wonderful shot, but dead center, we haven't seen really anybody able to control the distance properly here on 16.
So you've got the Pattersons both vying for victory here. Tanya Patterson caddying for Ashby High, husband Mike on the bag for Minjee Lee. And Buhai 3 back with 3 to play.
She does have her coach, Doug Wood, out here with her this week. I saw them getting in some work on the range before the round today. Going with a hybrid. Seems like a lot of club that shows just how much wind there is here straight into you on the 16th.
Wow, one of the very best on a hole that's yielded just 2 birdies all day. And now back on the tee, Minjee Lee. There's Mike Patterson. Well, Morgan, I don't want to say she got lucky, but her approach to 15 hit the apron and kicked onto the green to a few feet. Jin Young's approach to 16 hit the apron and kicked into the bunker. But that's what happens for anyone when you win a golf tournament, doesn't it? You get a kick every now and then.
The kicks are going to more often go just a little bit in your direction.
Good.
Yeah. Minjee distracted there by something.
Well, she hit a little cut shot off this tee yesterday, and she's got it over on the right side with that little left to right back in her face. I expect that same kind of shot here. Bunker on the right shouldn't be any problem, Kerry. The one on the left's about 250. It's up the left side trying to cut.
I believe it was round 2. She ended up in that fairway bunker. Looks like she's going to be almost in a similar spot to where Jin Young was, but I think she's going to have a better stance. She's not quite as close to the bunker.
17.
Jin Young Ko's reached the par 3.
Yeah, it has 171 to the whole location. It's kind of tucked back there right. Backed off there and just kind of, again, wondering about the wind. If it's hurting or if it's just off the right. That's a 6 iron for Jin Young Ko.
Flirting with that bunker. And I think it found the sand, didn't it, Angela? It looked like it from here.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky up and down.
Three down with 3 to play. Of course, Minjee Lee could stumble coming down the stretch, but for Ashley Buhai, a chance for a rare birdie at 16.
She leads the field this week in birdies. No better time than right here on the hardest hole on the golf course.
Incredible. How did that not drop?
That's about as good of an effort as you could give right there.
She said, I like it when courses play tough and you have to think. I like to call it smart golf. There's one not far from here where they're going to play the KPMG Women's PGA Championship next month that would fit that bill.
Baltusrol is going to require a lot of smart golf as well.
17.
This is the bunker shot here for Jin Young Ko.
Yes, and she asked Aditi to mark her ball, which is just right in front of her in the bunker. After the bunker shot she just hit on 16. I feel like...
So
wow.
You feel like she might make it?
I thought she could make it.
Very close. Yeah. Made that look easy. I may have caught a bit of the hole. Let's see here.
I think when you're short-sided, Tom, on this upslope, it's a pretty straightforward shot. And just beautiful technique.
And so she will have that to stay 2 back. Minjee Lee has missed the fairway ever so slightly left. Yen has missed it right. Here's Angel.
Kind of a low runner from 186. This is going way left.
Look out.
The club just absolutely grabbed in that thick rough. She was trying to play a bit of a hold off cut around the trees. Aggressive play. She's going to have her work cut out just to save par here.
All right, you said you thought Minjee might have a little easier time of it. It looks that way. Here's her second.
Yeah, flat lie, decent lie, 183. This is a 5 iron. Looking at a number in the low 170s to carry this. Shouldn't be any issues here. Just a little bit back into her face, maybe a little left to right. It's starting out to the right. Might need to get a little left.
Uh-oh.
She's got some green to work with there. It'll be a little bit dependent on the lie, but that's not the end of the world for a miss.
With a win, it would be her 9th on the LPGA Tour. She won her first Ladies European Tour event as an amateur. She'd be the second player to defend at the Cognizant Founders Cup. The other one is Jin Young Ko, whom she's trying to fend off. And she would have the third most wins by an Australian, trailing only the great Kari Webb, one of her mentors, and major champion Jan Stevenson. It's the kind of day that you thought it might be today. Some volatility on the leaderboard. Minjee had a 3-shot lead when the round began, fell behind by 1. Now she's back up by 2 as we take you to the 17th.
And Aditi Ashok, who came out of the bunker to here and has this for her par to remain level par for the day.
Tom, I think her ball caught a piece of the hole also coming out of the bunker. And I think Jin Young Ko is going to pay attention to this.
That's going to be a drop shot for Aditi. It's going to take her back to 7 under par. She'll be in a tie for 6th. Started the day tied 4th.
Looked like a good stroke, playing it to break a little right. Oh, and it just didn't fall at the very end. Straightened out for the last foot.
Aditi will be in the field next week down at Trump International in West Palm Beach for the Aramco Team Series event on the Ladies European Tour. A few LPGA stars will be down there. Now, Jin Young Ko for par. Big one, this one, because if Minjee doesn't get up and down and this goes in, it's only a 1-shot differential.
And Tom, she's birdied 18 every single day this week. So if she makes this putt, she walks to 18 with a chance, maybe, if she can birdie 18 again.
Yeah, kind of walked it in. So not her best tee shot, but she makes 3, almost made 2. A lot of support there for Jin Young Ko at 17.
Leading it by 2, the third shot for Minjee Lee at 16.
Not that great a lie. It's got to carry it about 35 feet to get there. It's got to come out better.
It just came out fluffy out of that lie, Jim.
Yeah, that was surprising. I thought that would knuckle out of there.
Well, Angela said it. Jin Young Ko has birdied this 18th all 3 days. Probably needs one today.
And she's really only looking to hit it about 230, 240 off the tee.
Right down the center cut of the fairway. She'll have a chance. Good angle to that left hole location today.
Firm, fast golf course all week, even more so today as the wind has whipped. Angel Yin tugged her second shot from the rough. Short and left of the green, pitched to this point, and now Angel Yin for par.
Yeah, she had a terrible lie down there left of the green, but did a pretty good job to get it to here.
Morgan and Jim. Angel said at the Chevron, when you play bad, you mentally get down on yourself before your game even does, and you're just constantly trying to figure out what's not working and why it's happening. And she said she was worried about losing her card until she got here last year, finished in the top 5, and everything turned around, and then an injury kind of set her back at the second half of last year, and now riding with some serious momentum. But you know what she means, don't you, Morgan? You feel it.
Yeah, she's struggled. She's struggled trying to play through an injury as well. Creates all kinds of other compensations. But it's great, Jim, to see Angel back in top form and looking comfortable in this position.
Yeah, I haven't seen her get out of comfortable other than that second shot. She's been solid.
Bogey free today. The low round of the day is 69. Jin Young Ko is 4 under. and is bogey free. It's just been tough. Minjee Lee hasn't made a bogey today, but she made a double when she came up well short with her tee shot into the water with a par 3 sixth. She has been flawless on the back nine, and she's got this to stay in front by 2.
She's been really good with this club. She's been solid with the putts and the reads. Y'all have seen this putt. I feel like it's got a little right to left, but I think you got to keep it in the hole.
She's already had 4 1-putts on this back nine here under the utmost pressure.
That hop a little.
It looked like a pull right off the putter face. Putter went a little bit outside, going back.
No, it's me.
Club face, putter face closed just a fraction at impact. We've seen her make so many clutch putts today for par.
So she's going to drop to at least 13 under. Jin Young Ko right down the middle in the fairway at 18. She will be 1 back at the worst. Now Angel, just 24 years old, already in her 7th season, if that tells you how early she got out to the LPGA Tour from Southern California. Didn't go to college, came straight the LPGA Tour, made the Solheim Cup team as a rookie, and was pounding 350-yard drives in Des Moines.
Not in yet either. That's going to be really costly for Angel.
17.
Yeah, and a must-make putt here for Ash Buhai. She's 11 under par. Minjee's going to fall back, so she needs to go birdie birdie. Straight up the green here. Was a little tentative at 15 up the hill. Did she get the pace right here? She did, but it wasn't quite on line.
How about those 2 putts, Tom, on 16 and on 17 that could have easily both just fallen in the edge? Really good roll.
Yeah, fraction more at 15, it would have dropped as well. She's going to think back to those moments tonight if she doesn't get it done here, which it would be tough for her to win at this point, but you never know. Let's go to 18.
And the 16th adjacent. Jin Young Ko won't know that Minjee Lee's going to drop at least a shot. But here is the all-important approach to the par 4.
She has 102 yards to the whole location, a little uphill. She just watched Didi's ball come up short and roll down the hill. I think that influenced her decision there.
That putt's going to have a decent amount of break right to left. Not an easy birdie by any means.
So this for bogey for Minjee Lee. And she will take a 1-shot lead to the 17th tee. You've got a couple of players at the top who make it look easy when they're at their best, which they usually are.
This is Heiran Yu at the 17th. She missed the green long, had a wicked chip that had a ton of left to right on it. So she's going to drop a shot.
Drive On LPGA All Access is your behind-the-scenes peek at LPGA players' lives on and off the course. You can catch it on the LPGA social media channels. New episode coming out soon. Ash Buhai was featured in that first episode.
That ball just wandered by the hole and fell away to the right. So still a bit of work to do here for Ash Buhai.
A little bit downhill. Just a fraction of a delicate putt here. If she's able to make this one and birdie the last time, I think there's still a chance.
Oh no. Just there's some annoying breaks in this green. You know, it's an unusually contoured putting surface with that knob in the middle of the green and slope at the back. Yesterday they put the hole up in this area as well, as a little bit further back towards where the caddy is standing, and it was really, really difficult. This one not that much easier. It's disappointing stuff there for Ashley Buhai. Back to 10 under par. A short wait for the final pair back on the tee.
Should be some help off the right, mainly off the right hand. Yeah, I do.
You think it's too much?
No.
Yeah, I think it's good.
It's the perfect club.
Yeah.
Like,
just add the pin and then let it.
yeah.
Like the slope will take it.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
like just a full one?
I do.
Can you guys just watch your shadows, please?
Maybe just back up
once,
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
fine sitting. You're fine.
Thanks. Yeah, I just like it. Cool one's fine. Absolutely fine, mate. Just that mainly right to left.
All right, 171. It's a 7-iron. If she goes out at 65 to carry, but I have a feeling this could be a little left of the hole.
Caddy was talking about the right to left wind here. We've seen a few players miss this green right over the last 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, Tom, I like to take it right at it, and if it turns, great. If it doesn't, it's no big deal. But to take it right of the hole, it's a little too aggressive line for today at this position. And it's left to the hole, turning.
Just there, it's got the full line, and it's going to stay at the back.
That'll be okay. That's a smart play. They'll have a decent amount of break.
And trying to win this event for a third time on a third different course, Jin Young Ko for birdie to tie the lead.
Morgan, you got it right. This putt should move right to left.
In 4 days of the 18th, and Jin Young Ko has tied the lead and made 13 under, the number to beat.
What a spectacular finish. She knew she needed to make that. There's no question, and it's what great champions do. They pull off the most incredible shots and putts when the pressure is the greatest. Right here.
Right in the middle. It was her birdie yesterday on what had been a tough day that got her back to even par, left her 4 back when the round began. She is now tied and looking very much like the Jin Young Ko that has dominated the LPGA. Today's coverage is brought to you by Cognizant, helping businesses anticipate and act as if on intuition. By Volunteers of America, helping those who need it most for over 125 years. Jin Young Ko going to see these legends. Penny Zavikas, niece of Babe Zaharias, one of the 13 founders, and fittingly 13 is now the lead. 17.
Minjee Lee for the birdie down the hill. sneaking back towards the hole. That is a really good touch there, Jim.
Really was. That was a tough read because it swung so far left early and then back right. But judge the speed was pretty good there. There is a leaderboard right over here just off the green, so I'm pretty sure they have a pretty good idea where they stand.
Well, she'll know she needs a birdie to win outright.
These two tied for the lead are among the notable champions of this event. Morgan, it began back in 2011 as a way to honor the 13 women who founded this tour. And look at the litany of great winners.
Truly fitting that all the winners have been major champions. And I love what this event has become and the symbol that it is on the LPGA Tour, remembering where we came from with the 13 founders, as well as celebrating LPGA, USGA girls golf, and really encouraging the future of the game as well.
And of course, Minjee took the torch from Kari Webb, a Hall of Fame member who's mentored so many of the young Australians. And
let's just go inside. Go around that way.
Jin Young is visiting with some young fans here.
Yeah, do you know what Minjee's done on 17?
And Dave Brooker, ever the caddy, wanting to know where things stand.
If you want to tell the fans we'll be back, yeah, we can come out.
And she's double checking. One more look at the birdie at 18 that she really had to have.
She talked yesterday about being tired, being fatigued, this being her 4th week in a row. But she looked anything but out there today. What a wonderful round of golf. Lowest score on the golf course by 2.
Her caddy, Dave Brooker, was a winner twice here. That's his daughter, Madeline, who's been on site twice to watch Jin Young win. She's kind of like a little sister to Jin Young Ko. And might have another signature victory for Jin Young Ko here today. It would tie Yanni Sen in terms of career victories among those who are still playing at least some. Yanni we see from time to time.
Looks like Jin Young's heading towards the practice facility.
Probably a good idea, isn't it?
On the other side of the parking lot is the putting green and the chipping green.
I had one a junior in high school.
Think back to those sand saves on 16 and 17. A perfect 3 for 3 today out of the bunkers. The other one coming at the 8th hole.
And off to 18 goes Minjee Lee. What touch with that tough, slippery putt for birdie at 17. And you've got a player in Jin Young Ko who's been #1 in the world for 153 weeks. Went through the kind of second half of last year that she had never experienced. The injury led to some wild scores, temperatures, scores up in the high warm temperature range, high 70s, even in the 80s. And Minjee Lee, 8 wins, a couple of majors, has never reached #1. #2 in the world is as high as she's been. She's #6 at the moment. And she's on the tee at the 18th, tied for the lead. I'll say this, Morgan. So many times when a player has a calm demeanor on the golf course, the media will say, are you as calm inside as you look on the outside? And they'll say, no, I'm really churning. She said, no, that's usually about how I feel on the inside. I'm pretty chill.
She said there would be some nerves today. She said that she felt some nerves, but I think nerves are normal if there's something that you really care about. But Minjee's in general demeanor of almost a Southern California kind of a cool. Maybe is that an Australian kind of?
Yeah, Aussie vibe. And Jim, when you hit it the way Minjee Lee does, maybe it's easy to be a little chill.
Yeah, she has showed very little stress. You know, it's been pretty impressive.
Ashley Buhai for a closing birdie. Well, she had a lot burn the edge here late. She won in Minjee's homeland, Australia, after winning the AIG Women's Open. Won the Australian Women's Open at the end of last year. The late bloomer has had a terrific 6 months. That's where the whole location is at the 18th. Minjee birdied it last year en route to victory. As she had a one-shot lead, didn't have to birdie it. At the moment, she is tied with Jin Young Ko, who just made birdie here to shoot 67 and post 13 under. And here come those girls from LPGA, USGA Girls Golf, some of them wearing the vintage outfits. What a scene this is, Morgan.
It's awesome. As you mentioned, Minjee said it was one of the highlights of winning last year, paying tribute with their wardrobe to the founders.
The past, the present, future, all being celebrated here at Upper Montclair, a classic course and a classic finish here. Minjee tied for the lead and a second shot.
Actual yardage is 120, carries 115. The wind is actually slowed down right now. So should be playing pretty true to the number, maybe a step or two up.
He's been the best iron player on the golf course this week. First in greens and regulation. Needs a great one here.
Oh, wow. That will be interesting. We've seen some players struggle a bit from that back fringe this week.
She must not have caught that just perfectly, because that should have stopped on its second bounce. It should have had a little more grab. Instead, it released through to the first cut.
Angel Yin now.
Yeah, just 105. Birdie go a long way for her after that big mistake at 16.
A $3 million purse. She's tied for fourth. Birdie would give her solo fourth place.
She was posing on that one.
Yeah.
Must have. And there she goes to look at her yardage book, because she thought she hit that perfect.
LPGA, USGA Girls Golf began back in the 1980s. The vision and the dream of Sandy LeBove, longtime instructor. And you've got Minjee Lee, who was just a kid herself when she started winning professional
Minjee
tournaments.
Lee and Angel Yin.
Angel Yin was just a teenager when she joined the LPGA Tour, now 24. And so there's the great celebration. Minjee talked about how inspired she has been by Kari Webb and so many of those others who preceded her. But there is the matter at hand, and that is finding a way to at least get it up and down, if not knock it in.
It's a little different feeling today
than
last year when she was one ahead with a 4-footer for birdie.
And that's where Angel Yin's ball has come to rest.
This is brutal. Just brutal luck. Really deep bunker. You can see her head below the top level of the bunker and severely plugged.
What would be the decision here for her as she looks at which club to take?
There's a couple different ways you can play this, Jim.
Yeah, you can throw the heel at it, kind of keep it shut down, or just kind of stab it right in there. You're just trying to get it straight up in the air, and it's going to release no matter what you do.
Wow, that was really well done. There was not much else that she could do from there. You can't control the golf ball whatsoever.
Now for Minjee Lee, tied for the lead. What does this shot look like to you, Jim?
Well, there's a little bit of a, coming off that fringe, there's a little bit of a low spot, and it looks like it swings it right early. And I think that's the tricky part of the read, because the hole's cut up on top of the plateau. It's probably going to be Angel first. Maybe that'll give her a little bit of an idea, but I think they're pretty close. Minjee's going to go with a little bit of a wedge. She has chipped one in already today.
Yeah, that was at the third for par. If this goes in, she wins. A par would send us right back to the 18th. Jin Young Ko and Minjee Lee. Wow.
She is so good with those little touch shots. Chipped one in to save par on the tough third hole earlier today. That looked from our angle like that could have dropped.
So if that drops, it's going to be a fourth straight playoff. And 5 of the last 6 on the LPGA Tour. For Angel Yin Morgan, as she continues to put herself in late groupings or pairings on Sunday.
I think it's great for Angel. I love to see her smiling. She's got such a wonderful personality and a ton of game to match. And I do think, Jim, that if she can get into the winner's circle, she will be a big star out here.
Yeah, she has such a big personality. I think she learned a little bit more again today. She really hasn't played poorly. Other than 16 and here, just a couple of mistakes coming in.
For par. Oh. That'll drop her back into a tie for 5th. Well, we mentioned that Minjee Lee did pitch in once today. She also missed a short putt for birdie at the second from about this distance, but this for par to join that woman, Jin Young Ko, in the playoffs. It could be the 3rd win in this event for Jin Young, or it could be the 2nd for Minjee Lee. No problem. And we're headed to a playoff on a very fitting number on a week in which we're celebrating the 13 founders of the LPGA Tour. 13 under will play off at the Cognizant Founders Cup.
Jin Young Ko to determine our champion. The playoff will start on hole 18.
Impressive stuff from Minjee today, who didn't have her very best game, especially on that front 9. Chipping in to save par on the 3rd hole, hitting it in the water on 6. But really never looked flustered and was able to make a lot of clutch putts, especially through the middle of the round. And you think both of these players who played in the International Crown last week, Minjee, of course, playing 36 holes on Sunday, has to be tired. But she has really managed her endurance very well this week and her energy levels.
So Jin Young with the round of the day, a bogey-free 67 on a day in which the scoring average was close to 2.5 strokes over par. She goes 7.5 shots better, and she'll play off with Minjee. Minjee Lee with a couple of souvenirs for the volunteers. Nearly 500 volunteers this week here at the Cognizant Founders Cup, Upper Montclair Country Club, Morgan. We've talked about it all week. It's a major championship caliber setup, and you've got two-time major winners playing off for the title.
I love this golf course. I played here in the late 2000s when the LPGA had a tour stop here for 3 years. I loved it then, and I love it now. And talk about that. Jin Young's caddy, Dave Brooker, won here twice with Lorena Ochoa. 07, 08, with Lorena. He's caddied for the player who's been #1 more than anyone, Lorena Ochoa, and for the player who's been #1 second most, Jin Young Ko, who did this at 18. Had to have it to tie the lead, and she got it center cut. It's about as clutch as it gets right there.
And then Minjee Lee over the green, but this to win it.
I thought for a second that looked like it was just going to peek in the hole. What an effort.
So happy Mother's Day to all of our moms who are here, to the moms who have gone on and are waiting for us. Minjee Lee and Jin Young Ko, both heavily influenced by their mothers. Minjee's mom, Clara, a single-digit handicap, helped get Minjee and her brother Min Woo into the game. And Jin Young's mother, Mi Kyung, took the game up as an adult, and it has become the family business. Jin Young can't get back to #1 this week, but a chance for a 15th title, and Minjee a chance to win for the 9th time.
Sometimes when you head into a playoff, we think, who has the advantage here? I don't know that you can pick one. These are about two of the best competitors that you can find, who are both plenty experienced being in this position with the chance to win. And their games are just so solid. Neither of them with a weakness.
This is a golf course that demands precision, and you've got maybe the two players of the last few years. There are other great players, but maybe the two players who make it look the easiest when they're playing their best. Great ball strikers. You're talking about Minjee, who perennially is among the leaders in greens and regulation and ball striking, and Jin Young Ko, who went 114 holes in a row without a bogey, hit 63 straight greens in regulation a couple of years ago.
We'll do a sudden death playoff. The sequence will be 18, 18, 17, 18, repeated if necessary. Jin Young, you have the honor.
Ian Davis giving the players their instructions. Angela, as she's done all day, is going to follow Jin Young Ko. Only one playoff for Jin Young Ko. That was a comeback against Hee Jong Lim, a player on the KLPGA who didn't make a bogey the entire week. And yet Jin Young came from 4 back to win. She was 4 back when the day started. And Angela, some brilliant play by Jin Young, not just making birdies, but hanging in there with some great up and downs.
Yeah, Grant, the up and down she made on 16 was amazing, and then the bunker shot was beautiful on 17. You know, it's champions really hold it together coming down the stretch, and they don't let things fluster them. And her short game is just so good that if she isn't hitting it perfect, she can still manage to save par and keep herself in it like she did today.
She's had the least bogeys in the field. And around this golf course that we've seen so many players struggle. That's a lot of really good golf and great short game, to your point, Angela.
So here's Minjee, 1 and 2, but that one was a big one. It gave her her first major championship at long last. Beat Zhang and Lee 6. She came from 7 back on that day at Evian.
Going with the fairway
Jim
with a
Gallagher
little
Jr.
more club
will
than
her.
Yeah. She's probably going to get it down there a little further than Jin Young did.
First playoff hole. 2 of the best of the current era on the LPGA Tour. First hole of a playoff, Jin Young Ko and Minjee Lee. And Jin Young will go first with a win. It would be her second win this season, joining Lilia Vu among multiple winners. Her 15th career victory for a player who joined the LPGA Tour in 2018. And it would be her third win in this event, all three on different courses.
She laid back significantly further than Minjee did.
Well, Morgan, she's
shallow
like
left side.
She's about 34 yards back of where she was in regulation. Kind of wondering if that was on purpose. I'm not sure. She's looking at 136 to the hole location, 126 to the front. It's gotten a little bit cooler since she was out here, and I know it wasn't that long ago, but I can definitely tell it's cooler. The wind has died down. This is going to be a hard wedge.
It's a big wedge.
It's been the story of the week, hasn't it? Judging the bounce.
Just not able to get any spin because she laid so far back. Even with the pitching wedge, the greens are so firm. Advantage here to Minjee.
Absolutely. 110. It's on the down grain cut portion, which is about 10 yards shorter than she had in regulation.
Okay. I'm not sure she loved it.
Just a fraction of a tug. If anything today, she has missed a few irons to the left when she has missed, which hasn't been very often. But lands softly. And she'll be putting second.
Yeah.
Been a long month for both of these players, each playing a fourth consecutive week. They played the team event last week, the Hanwha Life Plus International Crown. Very different kind of stress level, playing for your country, playing for your teammates, and now playing for a huge title here in New Jersey. Jin Young a bit farther away than she was in regulation. She rolled in that birdie putt to tie.
She's on a similar line, though. She will have a good idea of what this does. But definitely a longer putt. By a pretty significant footage there, maybe almost double the length that she had in regulation.
Got those LPGA legends on the perch. Pia Nielsen created Vision 54. That, mental approach to the game so many players have relied heavily upon. And two proven winners here, battling it out for a prestigious title. Angela, have you had a chance to take a look here?
No, I did not walk all the way back there, but like Morgan said, it looks very similar to where she was in regulation. It was just a little bit longer.
May have to get this not too far from the fringe.
It's a pretty good roll, wasn't it?
It's a good effort, not quite the same magic she was able to generate in regulation. It looks like this putt should keep breaking, and it seemed the same in regulation. Then it just stays straight at the very end there. And Minjee, putting from the other direction, would have been paying attention to what Jin Young's putt did there closer to the hole.
And now from, again, just off the green, a chance to win it for Minjee Lee.
He had to go a little right early, then straighten up a little bit at the end.
Look at this.
Safe to say that is the worst putt that she has hit today.
My goodness. And how about the comebacker?
On the same line as Jin Young Ko's, but this is where you got to try to sell yourself down. This is the tough part right here. She's made some clutch putts on this back nine, though.
Jin Young Ko just a foot away. Oh my goodness. Just a shocker.
She misread the first one and then looked like a touch of a push here. You could see in that camera angle she was just a fraction on the inside towards the heel of the putter when she hit that. Wow. Somebody who's been so solid all day. I almost can't believe that just happened.
A two-shot lead with 3 to go. And now Jin Young Ko, just this putt for her 15th LPGA Tour title. And the third time is indeed a charm for Jin Young Ko. 2019, 2021, and now 2023. She is the Cognizant Founders Cup champion.
She played the best golf today, Grant. 5 under par, best round on the golf course by 2 shots, well below the top scoring average.